Good morning, Nancy
Good
G.
morning.
What was this? What was that show again you were talking about? Maybe others would be interested in it.
Oh,
Time
I
travel
time
thing?
team.
Time team?
Yes, I came. I need to learn how to read clocks, and I mean these are digital clocks, so there's no excuse. But anyway, ended up in my chair an hour early, so I went looking for something, and I found a time team I hadn't seen, which is a British show where they have 3 days to go into a site and analyze what the archaeology is. And of course, Britain is so rich with archaeology. There are more archaeologists in England than in the whole of the US. I mean, there's so much stuff to do over there, and they're never like looking for work. They go back to the Ice Age and on out, and the Romans, and they've had all these changes of cultures. It's really fascinating, and it's always fascinated me. So I went and found one I'd never seen before, and they went in and found an old medieval town that the town that's there now had grown up over. And all they ended up doing was like refronting the houses with Georgian looking stuff, even though it was medieval. So they can go in their attics and climb around in their roofs and test the lumber up there, do dendrite testing. And they found a house that the timbers had been felled in the late 1200s to build that house.
Hmm.
So, it's
You
like a
know,
kind of history we don't have in this continent because our indigenous people didn't leave things like, well, they did. They left the mountains, which we screwed up with, but we don't respect our history the way they do.
yeah. Uh, Shocker poll. Trump crushing Biden double digits. Washington Post. No.
No.
Polls are ridiculous. We're still 14 months away. Orange Man's going away.
And polls, the only way you can understand a poll is you have to look at the logic and how they chose their voters. And you look at it and they say likely voters. You'll always see that thing, likely voters. Well, likely voters depends on how they choose their version of likely. But they can go in the voter rolls. And first of all, they make sure you're registered to vote. And then they look at your voting record. And it can't tell who you vote for, but just how frequently you voted. And some of them will check 4 or 5 votes. You have to have voted 4 or 5 times. And you think about that. If it's the elections every 4 years and you started voting at 21, that means they're talking to people that are 41 and older, just as a baseline. And then you have to realize that they're not counting the younger people. If you look at a poll, and I do believe these polls are true, of younger people, the ones that are 18 and older that are going to be voting, uh, close to 70% of them support Democrats. And they'll support Biden. They don't care about his age.
Oops. Wrong.
Wrong person.
I was trying to star. um, well, there's been reporting that 45 was using his money to pay off polling to make it look
Yeah.
better.
The first big one that came that said that he was 5 points ahead of Biden or whatever it was, that was done by a pollster that only polls for Republicans during Republican races. And like I said, they can skew, they can pick where they, and there was like, was it 700 people across the whole country was in that poll? That is not statistically a viable number. And you have to ask, how did they poll? Did they poll by using phones, which was the old way they used to poll? Well, how many people listening to this still have a landline unless they put it in your house when they put in your internet, I mean, yeah. My children, my 48-year-old, my 46-year-old, and my 33-year-old have never had a landline in their entire life. So they're missing, if they're using landline data, they're missing a whole crowd of them. They love to poll me. People say I've never been polled. I get polled all the time because I vote for dog catcher. I vote for everything. and they will pick me up, and a lot of the polling they're doing, if you've never been on a poll, it's not, do you like Biden or Trump? They don't say, if you had to choose between the two of them, they'll say, considering how old Biden is and that any moment he could have a stroke, would you rather have him over Trump? Now, I'd rather have a dead Biden over a live Trump, but but they it's called push polling. They put it. I used to get it 2 races ago. That this one group got my number, and they kept calling me, and they kept saying, the Democrats want to do da 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 to the schools, which is going to drain the amount of money we have to support our senior citizens. Would you support the Democrats in this? And then they'll take that as a not supporting the Democrats vote. They won't tell you all the crap they put in front of it. So no, polls are a bunch of crap.
Yeah, I was listening to it was on one of the MSNBC shows.
Chuck,
I think it
Chris
was
Hayes did a really good thing on polling.
Yes, that's who it was. Chris Hayes, Thursday or Friday night, and they were talking about polling. And you don't listen to polls; you follow the votes. And all around the country, with the special elections and the voting on women's rights for health care of abortion, everything is up, Democratic side, by 11%.
Yeah.
Everything's up. And Democrats are winning these special elections.
And including in districts in New Hampshire where Trump won twice. And then the Democrat that ran this time, he won by over 12 points. And for those of you who think, 12 points, what's that? Usually elections are won by 3% or less. More often less than close to 3% is considered a really solid win. So when somebody's winning by 12 points, if you're not used, I'm astonished at the numbers. I have a friend who's going up to work with the SEIU in Virginia because they have their weird off-year election coming up. And he and I were talking about it, and he put together a list for me to send to Andre Carr of special elections and their margins and dates and times that the elections will run. So Andre can look at charts and see if he can see some similarities from his world of looking at things. But yeah, I'm astonished when I look at those numbers because the only poll that counts is the one that happens on election day. And if they can beat you up psychologically to make you feel like you're losing, because there is that American mentality of I want to vote for the winner. So if they can pre-convince you that the guy that you think is really good can't win, you've got a problem. And then you get into my state where if they really wanted to look at manipulated voting machines, the new ones at least have paper trails. But before this, the last 2 elections have had paper trails. Before that, it just went in the machine, and whatever happened to it, happened to it. And I ran some races that got caught in that. And we know what happened to it because we went door to door and we knew the general tenor of those neighborhoods, and they somehow got switched.
Yeah. I believe that's being fixed. So yeah, in November, like Virginia's got their whole state pretty much is on the ballot in Virginia for the State House. So those will be interesting to watch, with all these off-year races coming up in November. Yeah, like even Wisconsin with the Supreme Court race in Wisconsin, 11-point win for the Democrat.
And now they're trying to throw her off for what? Because she won by 11 points and she's not a guy.
Yeah, I mean, our governor won by 100,000. It's always a close state. The presidential race was always 10,000 votes, right? A lot going from 0.5 percentage to 11% is huge.
Mm-hmm.
So Democrats are winning, and
Mm-hmm.
we see a very good trend.
No, the government shutdown.
That's a tough one. Will they come in at the last second, or are they going to have a short one?
I'm gonna lay it. I'm gonna have it's gonna happen. I'm gonna have it run. I'm gonna read a line on short and a line on long. Okay.
New Hampshire poll had Biden up by 12, according to Kerry. The independents, moderates, whatever, you will not vote crazy. The scary thing would be to have some younger, sane Republican get in there. That would make it very close.
Why the older Republicans won't trust him? They're losing their middle. Well, they're losing anyone who's sane because of the crazies that are in the farm. I have a friend whose sister was in a bad car accident, so she had to move in with her. And I got to talk to her about how this worked out. But her sister was QAnon. And from what I heard, she was pretty badly injured. Anyway, she ended up only staying at her sister's house for a week, which tells me a whole lot about how it went.
I know. Right, Linda? Debbie? That Electoral College needs to go. It's the only place in the world that uses the Electoral College type system.
Okay.
But we need to vote more Democrats to make that happen.
Yeah, you can't get it out into the states without that. And I've been against the Electoral College. I started working on campaigns to get rid of it 50 years ago. And you can see it's still there. So don't ask me about getting rid of it. Okay.
Okay.
I got that we're being being led by bad leaders. It's going to cause a lot of stress and strife. This is about, will it happen? But I got a weird thing. It says, then I got 3 no's that it wouldn't happen. So I said, okay, but I'm still going to read short or long. And I got a no, absolute no. Okay, put these in the right order. I got no, it's not going to get over quickly because I can't get everybody to read the same things together, to work on the same things together. And it's just a whole lot of lying and misrepresentation going on. But I think it's going to last well into October, but by then there's going to be the money community is going to come in and say, get this done. And then it said, okay, will it finish then? And it goes, yes. And the poor little Republican babies are going to be crying in the corner. What I see is at the very last minute, it's going to look like it's not going to go through, but it is. Because of the way it falls together, it's going to take until the end of October for it to be gone. But I think a lot of agencies the people can't help about being furloughed. But as far as like Social Security and stuff, because due to self-interest, I've already read on whether Social Security would get hit with this. And that they've got that figured out. So what you get, Scott?
I only have bad things in the past. Everything else is good. I had the chaos going on now, the fool wanting things and anxieties and the 10 of swords. So it's kind of like the chaos caucus just wants crazy things here. But then I have the Ace of Cups, the Magician, and the Strength card coming in, which is getting a deal done. Something behind the scenes getting done. the strength, my endure card is all about getting things done, what you need to do. And then I have a King of Wands, like a negotiator, Ace of Coins, prosperity, Knight of Cups, people coming together. So this does feel like
I feel like it's there, but it's not there. It's not the hard hit the Republicans want.
Right. I mean, there has been talk about some of these Republicans joining the Democrats to get something done.
But see, even if they want to, they can't bring it to the floor unless they can get McCarthy to do it. And like I said, like I didn't say it, Matt Gaetz said it. I've got the moving truck ready if he does that to throw him out. As far as I'm concerned, they should just let him get thrown out, because why should we all be blackmailed because McCarthy's a jerk?
It's going to ruin careers. I mean, people aren't going to let this go if they're going to shut down.
Oh, no.
On the bottom of the deck, I had walking away with the Eight of Cups, leaving it behind.
Maybe that's McCarthy.
There's something going to happen. I mean, if it does happen, it doesn't feel long, because this makes no sense why I have 6 cards in the end that are all good and getting deals done. Yeah, I just don't know.
But we have to have a hearing on possible impeachment. We're starting the investigation towards impeachment. That's more important than getting the country running.
It has a similar feel to the debt ceiling crap.
Yeah.
Cause chaos, in the very last second, something's going to happen. I mean, I got an email that it may be just a short one, and people are thinking it may get, like a 2-month short funding and then have to redo it again in December or something.
Yeah.
You want to look at December quick?
Yeah, sure.
In case there's a short funding and then have to redo it all again.
Yeah, let's see if there's going to be another.
Hope I feel better.
I'm just going to see if there's going to be another fight in December. That'll let us know if there's a short one.
Right. Another argument in December. What's going to happen in December? Does Tim Scott really have a girlfriend? Yeah,
Next
that man.
question after that was, she always a girl?
That is pretty hilarious. That he won't. You don't have a wonderful Christian girl, but he's on vacation. Oh, December. What's going to happen December?
I got yes and no, but it's better yes. The cards that are better that are yes. I got, because of things Biden's doing and having done, that people want it to go on. They have the little liars running around doing their lies and trying to spread misinformation. But this is the other yes card, is building a firm foundation. I got a feeling that could happen, that they may set it up to happen that way, but it's not going to work for them.
Our government's still going to be in upheaval.
Well, yeah.
It very well could be something to do with possibly, what do you call it? The special counsel maybe getting a little closer or something. But I have the funding there. So I have our government funding, the Queen of Coins, and Ace of Swords. We got the power, we got the clarity, we got victory. So I got the funding going through in December, but on the bottom I had the chaos caucus.
Yeah, they're gonna be there through the primaries, guys,
Then
because
I have positive energy starting in October. I have positive energy moving with the Democrats.
mhm.
That's my Democrat card, and then teamwork and positivity, and then something moving in October. My ending card, I have things starting to get better in December. I have
Good.
a death card, transitioning, and Six of Swords. It looks pretty dark, but we have getting better. It's like maybe we start moving the terrible ones out of our caucuses. But this is a huge change. But I see the funding available and there. But there's a huge shift coming into this year.
I have an idea, Scott. Does this have to do with something about what's going to happen in the Supreme Court? Because that's getting handled out of the Senate, and the Chaos Caucus can't do anything about that.
You mean the investigation?
Yeah, I think the investigations and changes that are going to come in the Supreme Court that are going to slow the see, these guys think, well, no matter what we do, no matter how outrageous, it's going to be okay in the Supreme Court.
Supreme Court.
Because if they don't have the Supreme Court sucked up a lot of money that could have gone to campaigning, but they're going to be building these candidates are going to be out there trying to run in primaries, trying to find money to run. You know, the big primaries in March, that's Super Tuesday. And it's about 90 days out that you realize your funding's there or it's not, which would be October, November. I'm thinking like a campaign person now. They may decide we have to go more moderate to get small, to get the small donors in behind them if they don't have the big guys.
Mm-hmm.
And the big donors are already blocking them because they don't like the way that the Congress is going. And Gaetz and Marjorie Taylor Greene and Lauren Bobblehead, they all live on small donor donations.
Yeah, you're right, Cece. I mean, no matter what, if someone gets indicted, they ain't going to resign. Look what's happening with Menendez and Santos. It takes a while to get a deal. But if you're charged, you still got to deal with it. And then there's talks, and Santos, by the end of October, could very well have a deal and be gone.
No, my cards don't like the Supreme Court being part of it, so I don't know if you want to read on it, Scott.
Yeah, Nixon resigned. Spiro Agnew cut a deal with tax evasion or something to never run for office again.
That's because they had him cold on taking bribes. And they told him, if you've never heard, Rachel Maddow did a whole series on called The Bag Man. If you want to hear that whole story. I was alive and well and a young person at that time. We all thought he'd screwed his taxes up, and that's why he resigned. But what happened was these guys decided we need to get him out of there because we know we're going to get Nixon, and we can't have this guy who's playing bagman now in that place. And it was actually 3 agents that continued the investigation once they've been sort of kind of quietly told, well, it's never going to go anywhere. They kept looking until they had him cold, dead to rights. And he was taking bribes that went all the way back to when he was the governor of whatever state he was governor of before. He was taking the bribes. They were bringing the cash to the White House, to his White House office. It's just an amazing, amazing story when you hear it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I listened to it. Was Paxton's indictments state?
No, it's federal.
I mean,
It's
before for the whole 7 years, it was federal.
and it's federal. It's because it's an investment fraud that he participated in. And what happened was the reason they went ahead and pushed for him to have his impeachment was the DOJ was switching out the guys who were handling it and sending in people from out of state to work on Paxton. So Paxton's not done yet. He'd have been better off if he got impeached. Then there would have been less pressure. That's tearing the Republican Party totally apart in this state. There's people who say, well, he got to get away with it good. We deserve to get away with it now and again. Like they haven't been getting away with it for 4 years or for 6 years. Yeah, he is bad. And the one who sat over his trial, he's bad. And Abbott's bad. And
Yeah.
I live in a state that's full of really, really, we have all kinds of money to throw at shipping immigrants to New York and to other states, but we have a power grid that came within 2 minutes of totally crashing in the middle of the heat wave this summer.
Kept all the money and they'd be shocked. Here's your comment. Okay. Oh gosh, a lot of questions.
You want to just answer? You want to look at Menendez?
Yeah, it's in there. But you were talking about SCOTUS. I didn't get there. And then
I don't think that's going to be what's going to make them finally put the budget through. But what's the question out of that? Is it going to change? Is the court going to change? Is Clarence going to have to go home and take care of Ginny because she's sick or something?
Yeah, I guess the status of the corruption through the end of this year in SCOTUS. Status.
No, I don't get that it's going to happen this fall, the change for them.
Oh, dropping.
I hate that when I drop the cards.
So you don't think any movement yet? Let's see.
I don't. I see them holding on to their values and powers, and this is the most telling card. My only yes is the Hangman, which is people are looking at it differently. But they don't want to see them leave, and they're not thinking with their wisest hats, and all they're thinking about is their money. They think it's their money. They don't have to answer to us.
Yeah, we're kind of stuck. Yeah, I got the court. There's still restrictions. I mean, it's not like it doesn't feel like people can just come in and indict SCOTUS, that kind of feeling. So it feels like we're restricted here with Eight of Swords.
Right.
So our Hierophant, Knight of Coins, it feels like there's a restriction on the court yet. And then more things are coming to light. More and more evidence they're going to find. So that more news, more things coming out. And then we have someone may actually be getting sick again.
Yeah. Clarence Thomas had a heart thing a year ago.
Yeah. He might be getting sick again. More things coming out. I mean, there's a lot of pressure on him with all this evidence.
Oh God, can you imagine going home to Jenny Thomas every night?
I mean,
They may have a big house. They don't
there's
have
no way that he's not internally getting hit, with all this news and doing this, doing that. He'd have to have zero soul to walk around and think this is all right. Everything that's coming out. In the end, I have greater minds. King of Cups, Queen of Wands, and Strength card. Usually that's Biden energy, but it's an empathetic man and a woman coming together. Not sure what that means. It's not giving me a hit, but there's some kind of positive energy coming in later.
Let me see if
it almost gives you the feel of another woman justice coming on the court. That kind of feeling.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't feel like it's, this year, but this is an outcome. But I have some illness, but this kind of feels like Biden putting another on the court.
Well, I asked if Sheldon Whitehouse's investigation was going to be behind it, and it was no, not now. It's going to be next year, 2024.
That takes time, yeah, those things. That's horrible, though. It takes ProPublica to bring out this stuff, and otherwise we would have never known. The grift would just continue, but more and more of these fabulous people are looking. SCOTUS caused the problem. We hear what Tuberville blocking the military. What's SCOTUS have to do with?
SCOTUS doesn't have anything to do with that. That's the Senate rules.
Okay. PC. At the confirmation hearing, Clarence Thomas is shown to have no morals, ethics, or soul. All about power. I believe you're correct. Okay. All these long questions. Okay. Jackson just brought in another prosecutor he was working with. He's worked with him a lot. He was at The Hague with him, I guess. I can't remember his name. And I think someone else swam it.
Somebody gave us his name in one of the questions.
I just remembered that. Cassidy. What was it? Oh, Alex Whitten. There it is. Yeah, someone did. Leslie. Alex Whitten or Whiting?
Whiting.
Okay. Oh,
jeez, yes. Good Lord. Look at what his end card was. This man causes towers to fall.
Good.
He's really, his head's on straight. He's a straight shooter. He tumbles people who thinks they have everything balanced and covered. He's the magician. As above, so below. He's good at that stuff. And just like Jack Smith, you don't want him coming to look for you.
Okay.
I'm going to see if he's been brought in because they're tracking down some kind of war crime. That may have to do with the Mar-a-Lago papers.
Yeah, I think it has to do a lot with court and how he handles it. So, got a page of wands, someone he trusts and he's powerful with the chariot. There's something coming in October. I keep getting that my moon card, October. There's more indictments coming in October. I think one of the women, there's women on Jack's team too.
Oh yeah.
Because I got 3 people here taking the lead. So there's a powerful woman in the team too. So I got King of Swords, Queen of Wands, King of Wands. So there's a partnership here that's going to take down a lot of people. But then in the end, I have some bad karma coming in for a lot of people and oh crap moments in October. October is going to be crazy. Things are going to get broken up in October with some people. More indictments. More losses.
Do you want to look at number of people who are going to flip in Georgia? They've already got over half of the fake electors. They've got that Lee guy who already gave up his law license because he knew he was screwed.
Oh, Linwood.
Yeah, Linwood.
So out of the 19 you're talking about? Or,
yeah.
Well,
are more going to. We know Linwood split.
They had 20 that 19. Were not indicted, right?
Right. And there's a bunch that weren't indicted.
20 of them, and then the 19 that were. So Lynn was on the non-indictment list.
Yeah, but he'd already flipped.
Right. But he says he didn't.
Well, no, he didn't say I didn't flip. I told the truth, you know, and
yeah, he flipped.
when the main line of these folks is anything but the truth.
Right. I got you, Deanne, now about Roe v. Wade being overturned now. Tuberville's using it as an excuse. You know, using women's rights, women's health rights against it. So it's kind of a cause.
For entertainment purposes only, I'm going to ask if Tuberville is getting money from a foreign source. That's the initials of the country are RUSSIA. I swear he's in their thing. Oh, good Lord.
Tuberville.
Party time. These are the people he plays with. It's all based around money. And he wanted to go the other way. He wanted to get away from where he was. The transition for him is not, however, not going to be smooth. And he is going to be caught by one of the women prosecutors that's looking at stuff. But that's what's pushing him to stand and stop. They just found a reason.
It's showing here he is part of that January 6th stuff. Doesn't say how bad, you know, like locked up, but they do have foreign money, whatever, that attached to kind of money that was attached to January 6th. King of coins. Here's the money with the ace of coins, but here's my January 6th card, you know. So there's involvement there with the money man 45. There is a woman here putting pressure on Tuberville here.
Yeah.
Queen of Wands.
Had the Queen of Wands upside down, yeah.
Yeah, there's a Queen of Wands putting pressure on Tuberville here. There's going to be some news. There's going to be an old crap moment coming for Tommy here soon. So we're going to have some victory and bad times coming in and a female pressure.
I'm going to ask if the Senate's going to be given the opportunity to let them all go through by the end of November. All of the, it's what, 400 of them now?
Something like that. You know, the Air Force guy just got nominated to head of the Joint Chiefs. Well, now we got to replace the, Air Force head. So you didn't really gain much. We really needed that because the other general's retiring in a couple days. Okay. So you're checking on something?
I looked and saw, and I don't see them being all released by November. So.
Oh, okay.
And it was kind of a maybe, maybe not. It's one of those up in the air things.
Okay. See if we get some timing.
Well, timing is the worst thing for Tarot.
I know it.
So if you ever see a day where I'm going to be reading in my garden, the thing I created, that's great for timing. So far, the people I've read in the last year that were saying, like, I've got 2 job opportunities when I could pick the season and actually which time in the season, which means I'm getting really close to being able to tell months on it, which is better. Cards suck at time. When people say, well, I meet the person I'm really going to be in love with forever, I always say we're going to ask in the next year, because if I say yes and it's 40 years from now, for 39 years, you're going to be screaming at me because they haven't shown up.
More war crimes. You betcha, Ian. Special counsel is not playing. He's got a really good team on him. Okay, Republicans.
It's not going to ever last 20 years, guys. I'm going to see if they're going to have a waning power in the next 10 years when their whole substructure of village idiots falls apart.
Well, there is going to be an implosion thanks to 45. 12 years. I think they're going to struggle for about 12 years until they realize that you can't be an asshole and be in Congress, because people are going to starting to figure you out. So we're on a very good trajectory.
Yeah.
Magician, King of Cups, King of Wands. The better people are starting to come in. We're starting to see people are starting to wake up from the grifting and not doing anything, and has everything to do with 45 coming in. The devil of 45 is making people walk away. So there I got my Wheel of Fortune, which is December, and 12, the karma of 12. So let's go with 12 years. They're going to become a better party. Angelic, the sun, the light, everything that's good, karma cycle. So yeah, they're going to realize at some point that you can't be evil to people and win. So this would say there's going to be a lot of changes happening with laws and everything. And once they can't cheat, voter suppression, all that.
Mhm.
It'll basically take one time with complete leadership of the Democrats, and laws can get changed.
Mhm.
Can you imagine 240 in the House, Republic or Democrat,
Mhm.
60 senators, and Biden
Mhm.
in the next 4 years? Everything will be overturned. We get enough
Mhm.
senators, right? And that's the energy is the way it feels. It's like good things are going to happen in the future here, and they're going to have to rebrand and become good people, more of like one party.
One of the things that's a huge change that's going to happen to us that people don't seem to be focusing on too well is China's in a disaster position. It's one child policy. Never anticipated there'd be a period of time when so many people died from COVID and things. And they no longer have a workforce. They've got millions of people, but they're all old. And what my oldest son sent me an article how Apple's pulling all of its manufacturing out of China and bringing it to Mexico, to the US, and to Canada because they don't trust the power structures that are over there to be able to continue to make what they need to have made. And they're not alone. And there's a big article he sent me this morning. That's what I read before Time Team about they expect that within 5 years, too hot,
Hot coffee, yeah.
within 5 years that the cracks are going to show all over the place in China, and we're going to have to come to a decision about what we want to do to help or to hurt them after all the crap they've done to us. But they're in bad shape. But that manufacturing's got to go somewhere for people to have the stuff made, and it's going to come to here to Mexico and to Canada, and that's how they figure it's going to be divvied out. But what I see happening to the Republicans is the wheel of fortune shifts against them. Their misinformation, they're caught up with it. People are so sick of the waking up every day seeing what shoe's going to drop on us today. And the Democrats are beginning to build enough solid foundation. People see the values of it. So people want to move on. They want things to move. They don't want to sit there with the stalemate the Republicans have created. So will Republicans be out of power for 20 years? No, but the idiots will be weeded out. And other people, it's been so long since we had any sane ones, but um, there's, and because it's gotten so distorted going up into the court, we haven't had a court protecting the people. It's not just the laws that are passed, it's how the structural law allows the laws to be upheld.
Wasn't there so much poverty in China too, though?
Oh, there's enormous amounts of poverty, but the idea of the one child backfired because Chinese tradition was to have a male child. So if
Yeah.
you had a female child, they'd kill him. They just let him be strangled and die. So now they have all these men and they don't have enough women. Now they don't have enough women to make children, and a lot of the women don't want to be caught up in marriage because that the way they've structured their workforce is not beneficial to be. So can we go read on a dastardly Democrat? Mind you, this guy was convicted years ago, and he was tried years ago, and it ended up in a hung jury.
And they didn't want to retry him, so.
And they didn't want to retry him because he was a congressman, and they were sure he'd been shamed and learned his lesson. Apparently not.
Some
So,
people think his wife might have been a honeypot.
well, have you seen her? She's not of his generation.
Yeah, she's a little younger.
I'm just going to see if Menendez is going to go down. I'm going to ask if he's
some
going
of
to
these
resign.
some of these popular Twitter folks are saying someone needs to do an article and dig into that wife. Yeah, I seen someone. Andy Kim has already announced who's running against him.
Mm-hmm. I don't see that he'll willingly resign.
And people are speculating that he's going to hold his seat for leverage.
Oh yeah.
Okay, let me off and I'll resign. That kind of feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of innocent people keep gold bars in your closet and bags of
Yeah, I
money.
mean, I know people who have cash stashed in their house after. Some of them started doing after 9/11 because you couldn't get cash out of machines when all that happened. But they don't keep gold bars because who are they going to sell the gold bars to? You know, their friend who stashed more cash.
Oh, these people. Okay. New Jersey Menendez.
Oh dear,
Oh,
what I got for him?
he is guilty.
Yeah, I got jail, and he was living. He got away with it once. He could have lived a cushy lifestyle, but his old friends visited him. His negative old friends. He didn't use his potential wisely. He ends up in jail, and he ends up with a very imbalanced life.
Hmm.
What'd you get?
Interesting, tough reading. It doesn't really give me the feeling that he'll resign, but he
Mm-hmm.
is guilty.
Oh yeah,
The main energy is the Knight of Swords and the Eight of Swords.
yeah.
Um, that would say he's going to prison, to Knight of Wands prison, and here's an offer. The money, everything's going to be, all his wealth's going to be taken. I got
Mm-hmm.
someone's going to flip on him. Must have been someone else that was indicted with him or partners or something. They're going to
Probably
flip on him.
someone related in the case. We may not even know yet.
Yeah. So someone related in the case with the Page of Wands, Six of Coins, the ill-gotten gains, and then Ace of Coins. So there's some.
Hi, Scott. Scott went away.
Oops, hit the wrong
Scott
thing.
came back.
Okay. But in the end, I have him going away. Knight of Cups,
Mm-hmm.
Six of Swords, Nine of Coins, and the World. So it's a weird ending. Knight is kind of like swept away and not walking away.
We don't predict death, but sometimes stress gets to people.
Yeah. But the world is a culmination of endings, paperwork. It's a weird one. My general sense is that he doesn't resign. It's more like he's swept away than
Mm-hmm.
either pulled out or there are some cards in here with offers. You know, the Page of Cups is making an offer. Six of Coins is making a deal. So, like I said, it isn't like he does it on his own volition. You know what I mean? He doesn't do the right thing. Like, yes, I'm resigning. It's kind of like more like an offer feeling, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But then he does go to prison later on at some point or a deal. Yeah, it feels like he's holding his seat for a deal. Stress is a killer. Feels like that's what's going on with Mr. Clarence.
Mm-hmm.
And you got Alito over there like, oh, they're not looking at me right now. Thank God. That's just so horrible. I mean, like, if I was in the public eye like that and all that came out of me, how could you walk around the street and people just know who you are? The world knows who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And all the evil looks you get. And like that Peter Navarro going out there speaking after his conviction, and they got that lady behind him yelling, you're corrupt, go to jail, and all this. Be like, that's the last thing I'd want to do. I'd want to run and hide. Yeah, Trump pardoned one of the co-conspirators. I think I did hear that.
No. Did he? No, Menendez was never. Maybe someone
was pardoned. I did read something about someone connected to him. Something like that. That was just hilarious. Whatever that woman's name was, but blowing the whistle when let Navarro speak.
Oh, yeah.
It was hilarious. Yeah, that is. Matt Gaetz is horrible. Just unreal that he thinks that is a smart thing to do.
Matt Gaetz, his feelings right now, that's like asking how a 13-year-old feels. What hour of the day is it?
Then
no insult to 13-year-olds.
He thinks he's going to be Florida's governor.
Well, look who they got. That could be a possibility.
Coffee.
Are we going to ask how's Matt Gaetz feeling right now?
Sure.
Okay.
That's what I know.
I'm getting out my life is like a board game cards.
Matt Gaetz. Anyone who has much stresses, 45's got to have huge stress. I can't believe even him too.
Mm-hmm.
Just speaking and being in public and all these people have the cojones that can continue to be in the public. 13-year-olds aren't supposed to be adults. Good one, Nancy. Matt Gaetz.
Okay. Matt Gaetz this is the Ten of Swords reversed, the darkest before the dawn. He sees what's coming. He just can't figure out. He got out of it before. He just can't figure out how to get out of it now. He's in the hangman position. He's trapped. He keeps counting on the fact that somehow Trump's going to pull it off and become president, which is just hysterical. And his end cards are, even this is going to piss his family off, and they're not going to let him back in. And it's going to finally, when he gets through all this, it's going to take the stress, the Nine of Swords off of him. But how's he feel right now? Like I said, like a 13-year-old. He doesn't know what to feel. Am I trapped? Am I not trapped? Whenever he's in front of a microphone, he thinks he's running everything.
So weird. It's kind of delusional.
Hmm?
It's like he he's kind of delusional. He thinks he's got the key to the castle. There's an allegiance to him. 45 must have compromise on him or something. Because there's an allegiance that he just can't walk away from.
I don't think he has the brain power to. I mean, I really don't think he has the mental imagination.
To be that kind of a professional liar,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you got to have some brain power. This craziness. But a Knight of Cups, Ace of Cups, and the Eight of Cups together makes me feel like he has an allegiance that he just can't walk away from.
Yeah.
It's his end game just to be part of the chaos, cause more problems. King of Wands, Knight of Swords, and then the Six of Wands. You know, it's a victory, but in this card, you see all this chaos. It's more about fight, you know, than you know, just be chaotic. And it's like he has no fear. He really believes that he's got greater things to do in public life because he can get away with anything. In the end, I have Queen of Coins, Hierophant, Four of Coins, and High Priestess. This makes me feel like he's got money, he's got power, he's got the High Priestess destiny for bigger things. It's almost like I can be the next Donald Trump because he's going away. I think he's a delusional, power-hungry. God, I lost it again. I keep hitting.
Dear.
Keep losing things. Yeah, he's just a chaos man, and he thinks he's got it going on. And he's got power, and he loves it. I don't sense crazy. He can. I don't know. It's like he feels like he can be the next. Who's that powerful, wealthy man, good investor? Can't remember the name right now. Walter something or other, or yeah, that's what Jeff feels. He feels like he's unstoppable. But I don't know. He's got illusional dreams that he can be something huge. Besides his forehead.
I think after he didn't get busted on the sex charges, I think he decided he really had the formula.
Yeah. Invincible, something like that. At the island. He's been everywhere. Oops. I think he wants Kevin's job.
No, he doesn't want Kevin's job.
No, he likes being behind the scenes.
He likes to be the gadfly that bugs everybody.
Yeah, like Florida, governor of Florida, some high honcho of Florida. He'd love to be that. Yeah, Warren Buffett. That's what I was trying to think of.
Yeah.
Be a Warren Buffett, you know, someone with power, someone with success. Yeah, and then he's got daddy's money.
Well, that's what's happened to him. He's never had to pay for anything that he did wrong. He never had to face the music. Someone was always there to bail him out.
Mm-hmm. Okay. The Alabama map's still going on. Now the federal judge has assigned a special team to make fair maps.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and the Republicans are trying to take it back to SCOTUS again on a different premise, I guess. It's crazy. I think they had
No, Alabama pissed SCOTUS off because they didn't follow their rules. They said F you and drew a map that's the one SCOTUS said wouldn't work. They won't like that.
Alabama's map. I think it's supposed to be going to a special master or something.
Yeah, it's going to that federal judge that's just assigned the special team to draw special fair maps. That's what they were ordered to do. That was the further move on them.
Okay.
Well, I asked what's going to happen from this, and I saw that the first thing that fell was supporters who wanted things to be handled better for success. Now they're in the middle of overflowing emotions, grief and sorrow. They're going to try to hold tight, but I think they're going to be starting a new, more stable route. So I think that the SCOTUS will not intervene. They've given a ruling. They're doing now what SCOTUS told them to do.
They will lose.
Mm-hmm.
They will lose what they're doing. New maps are coming, judgment upon them. 6 of coins, making things fair. The division of the spoils. So they're going to lose. Something it's going to be drawn fairly. They're afraid. Alabama's afraid of losing seats and whatnot, making things fair. 7 of swords, 5 of cups, and the fool. They're just like all Republicans. They're afraid of losing their power.
Mm-hmm.
There's some. I wonder if Leonard Leo or all the other people are involved for the Koch machine money, because they got the devil here in the end. Devil, Knight of Swords, 2 of Coins, Magician. There's someone working behind the scenes with greed and power to suppress. Someone in the background is making money, giving money. So is the state filing this? The state Republicans, are they giving the money to the Republicans to file these suits? Because that takes money.
I have no idea.
I mean, there's a lot of money in the background. Some Republican thing with Magician and the Devil making money flow in with 2 of Coins.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a battle, and it's dark money with the Knight of Swords. Alabama, the state gave us Florida 3 U.S. senators. You heard that, right, Nancy?
Yeah, he lives Tuberville doesn't, he lives in the Panhandle, not in
He's
Alabama.
actually a Florida resident. It should be pretty simple. Just check his driver's license. You don't live here, you're out.
Mark Meadows is the same way. What Mark Meadows' legal address to say he lived in that state was a trailer that obviously no one had lived in for 30 years.
The trials and indictments. I think it's going to have a huge effect.
Mm-hmm.
Guilty pleas. Like with indictments, everyone could scream, "Oh, it's prosecution and bad things." And, Kay Ivey, she's just another evil one. She's the grandmother of Huckabee Sanders.
She's what?
She's a grandmother of Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
Really?
Just saying the same energy.
You never know. I mean, in the South, you never know. They could be.
Just the energy, that she brings in
Mm-hmm.
won't do anything good for the people. They're all about power. Okay. Hey, Jane. We need convictions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the indictments are not going to affect those who are staying within the GOP, because anybody who's staying within the GOP is already hard baked to not believe indictments. I'm going to see if convictions, I'm going to use a different deck and see if convictions, because we could have convictions before the spring primaries because of the people who've gone early in Georgia. And all the information from those will be out there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what happens. Guys, they quit being in the hangman position, decide they need to take movements. They're going to understand the evil that was riding among them. It's going to take that to get through some people's heads. Angel's going to have to throw that little cup right into their forehead to get them. But it's going to reach the goals that need to be reached. And people are going to want to build a stronger wall so that kind of shenanigans can't happen anymore.
You're going to see it. It really feels like the special counsel was a positive step.
Mm-hmm.
It was the right thing to do. I had the Magician, Six of Cups, and my Sun card. It's like the sun and the star. But by creating the special counsel, digging into what they did in the past will bring a lot out, bring more clarity and success and miracles.
Mm-hmm.
Then I have Ace of Cups with abundance, my strength card, and then evaluating the situation. So when we have true abundance, with indictments, running through the court system and seeing the ending is more of an awakening than just getting, indicted. Because I would see now with 45, he just spills nonsense yet, being on going after you.
Mm-hmm.
When clarity comes, you see people evaluate more. They start seeing the light with the endure. And then things get better. You're able to see your guides and see the chaos better when you have more clarity. But I'm getting there's going to be a death and the Knight of Swords. So it kind of feels like more indictments are coming. That kind of thing. So there's dark energy coming with the Knight of Swords. Kind of like the three-letter teams coming into law agencies, becoming creative and courage. Yeah, I think when you get more clarity, because they just have more nonsense. It's like the Seven of Cups here with the face palm on the bottom of the deck. It's just like because people can throw out nonsense until someone actually goes to prison. It's just amazing, all these people that got swept up on January 6th and going to prison, but they don't seem to care. Because you have a talking point like 45 that just talks nonsense that they're political prisoners and everything like that. So to create change, you need the talking points to go away. The Alex Joneses and the Steve Bannons and the 45s. You need convictions.
45 when's Steve Bannon going to get put away? I mean, they already got Navarro.
In another appeal.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's November yet. I can't believe this appeal has just been going on and on. It shouldn't take that long for an appeal. Plus, he's not paying. Bannon's supposedly not paying his lawyers, or he switched lawyers or something.
Yeah, the lawyer that's suing Rudy used to be Rudy's best friend.
Nothing like losing best friends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know, right? The system was pretty good under Clinton. I don't remember everything, but he had a positive flow of money. That's what we needed. Oh no. But B's son was in Salt Lake. Got coronavirus, most likely.
Yeah, that's an Omicron variant.
Well, I was reading like there's 20,000 plus in the hospital in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
The new variant. Yeah, they got the salt ban down in '94, and then Bush and team let it slide. Unreal. Okay. Alrighty, at 1:20 already. Let's see. Okay, we looked at Menendez. We looked at mapping. I'm going to look at Neuralink. Jeff was wondering about Neuralink.
Oh, I know nothing about it. That's a name that I just fast forward past. I don't even care. I was on Twitter for like 3 days and said, this is ridiculous, and got off.
Well, Elon's posting about a chip. Putting a chip in your brain to help people that are with paralyzed or dementia or something.
Mm-hmm. No, all those monkeys are terminal. I mean, I'm terminal. Scott's terminal. Everyone listening to this chat's terminal. If you push it to the nth degree, you can make the statements. All those monkeys were terminal. Doesn't mean it's as fast as they took them.
There was reports that those implants caused abscesses and infection. And I seen he posted on Twitter, sign up. Who wants to be part of the program? But other people are saying it's going to take 10 years or more of trials before anything would even be possibly, okayed to be putting in normal people, whatever he's thinking.
Why, if you're a normal person, would you want that in your head? Anyway, what did I get? Sure. Is this the truth? No. That's a double no, because where it is, no. And the only thing is that the Wheel of Fortune is coming around to show one more lie from Elon. So, no, it was.
He's no. Ay. No, I'm getting a lot of no's too. Because 3 cards together don't come up with a positive.
Mm-hmm.
He's just a talking. talking piece, and then I have my
Actually, hold that card up again. The top card that looks like Elon with this little mouth. Oink, 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 oink.
Wink, wink, yeah. But this is Five of Swords is my liar card. So what he's saying, he's lying. It's kind of showing something. I don't even know if this is going to go to human trials, because things are going to come up from the past for him, or about this. There's going to be more things coming to light. This FDA, whatever, is still going to evaluate. So yeah, they're still digging into this. I don't even know if these trials are going to go to people. I raised it. That man's being investigated 5 times sideways. And our government can't even trust him now with they're backing away from SpaceX, they're backing away from what he did in Ukraine. Who wants to go now? Okay. Elon sucks. I don't know much about Netanyahu going on. Well, let's go back here. Books. You got to read the book to get, people got to buy the books and read them to get impact. What does more good is what, like, Liz Cheney is doing. Going and speaking and talking about the corruption of what 45 did and others. That does more good than writing a book. So the impact, because generally good people will already know what's wrong and would buy it to see the dirt and hear what the inside happened. Your average younger Republican probably won't buy it. So what does more good is speaking everywhere and fighting against the corrupt system. So they'll get their $2 million or whatever from it, plus profits, but I don't see it booming. So you want to look at what's going on? Netanyahu is the last one, or?
Yeah, I know nothing about it.
I don't either. I kind of caught a few things, but it's complicated with everything going on over there. That's right.
Well, it's something like the Mideast is not complicated,
Yeah. Cassidy Hutchinson will be on Rachel Maddow tomorrow night.
Yes, and the next night she'll be on with Lawrence O'Donnell.
Or Lawrence, yes. People are...
I'm going to ask just flat out, is he doing this to consolidate his power? So people say, we can't get rid of him now. We're almost at a peace deal.
Yeah, it feels like he's just doing everything he can to stay in power.
It's not going to work. This is him building his little fortress and trying to create friends where he can. But it's going against what his people know is right. And I think he's going to ultimately be defeated by a woman, and she'll come and build safer boundaries that really make people safe instead of pissing people off so they build bigger bombs to come get you.
It feels like he's trying to continue to subvert his government authority.
Mm-hmm.
I have no clue if he's continuing to be investigated or taken out, whatever, by the prosecutors. Last I knew, there was a woman trying to corrupt him out, but so I got a King of Swords. Feels like the law. His government, he wants to stay. So he's trying to do something to stay in government. Maybe stay out of prison. Who knows? But then I have it's like his victory is going to be subverted. So it doesn't, karma's going to catch up to him. And it's naive what he's doing because victory is surrounded by negativity and bad karma.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever he's trying to do. There is a new path forward. In the end, there is some kind of agreements.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever's going on with him, maybe a peace deal, something. There's a page of coins, 6 of coins, and the Knight of Cups. So there is a new path some way in the power sharing of land or government. For him, I think it's going down. Some kind of deal that will help seems to be coming through. I don't think it's because of him.
Yeah.
But there is a path forward. That's a proposal that's positive in that area coming. But it's showing it's not for him. His victory, his success is subverted by a fool and bad karma. So, I don't know. He needs to go away too, unfortunately.
Yeah, he's another one.
We need karma to hit him too. All right. Bring 3 cards.
Okay.
Or however you want to do it. A positive message for today, the week, whatever.
What do you have going this week other than work?
I think just Tuesday. And you got a tarot class coming up, right?
My night class starts tomorrow. It's a 6 weeks course. If you go to my website, you can see how to do it. You can email me directly at crystaldirections.nancyjean@gmail.com. That'll work for you too, Cece. Cece said she wanted to send me some information. I'd be grateful to receive it there. And it's 6 weeks course. We start the first course is numerology. Then we go through the numbers. Then we go through the suits. Then we go through the fool's journey. And with each lesson, I teach you more layout patterns. And I'm going to be doing it with Jeffrey Wright Color. The classes are very limited in size. One class is almost full. The night class starts tomorrow. And each class will be recorded. So if you happen to have to miss a class, you can catch up by watching a recording. And if this is like, oh my God, I can't do that next week, numerology is probably the single easiest class to watch and figure it out on your own. And it's just kind of a fun thing, but it teaches you 1 through 9, which is really important because that takes care of about 3/4 of the cards in your deck. And weird. Yeah, we're doing that. My house is repaired. I did my Thursday thing on past lives with little men fixing the sheetrock in my laundry room. And they were so good and quiet that people didn't even know where they were there. And it's right next to me. I mean, it's like right there. And so my world seems to have gotten past Mercury retrograde.
Good.
So I'm really excited about that because I had a bad one.
Ugh. I think Netanyahu gave me a headache. I suddenly kind of felt some bad energy when I was trying to tap into him.
Mm-hmm.
Bad man. Okay, I got 5 of Ariel. Some negativity and struggles that are current energy of struggles, your substance, your feelings, but you don't need to go through it alone. The 3 of Michael, 3 of Wands is like releasing the past, healing wounds, and then the 4 of Wands. There's other possibilities out there. Or no, 3 of Swords. Sorry, this is the 3 of Wands. So it's like release. It's basically about release. You don't need to go through things alone. Call on the situation to release the past,
Mm-hmm.
and look at the magic in life beyond what emotional struggles anyone might be going through or you may be going through.
And Scott's going through an enormous one with his computer.
I accidentally touch everything.
Uh-oh.
I set the cards on the laptop, and
Uh-oh.
then anyway, that's what's showing. It's like when you struggle, you can release, and you don't need to go through it alone because there's other possibilities and magic in life.
Okay. Well, you and I got much the same. I got from the wild elementals, I got salmon. And salmon's attributes are values of returning home, successfully swimming upstream through the emotional, understanding divine messages, rebirth with spiritual knowledge. And when you see the salmon swimming into your life, you're being shown that the struggle you are facing may seem insurmountable, but you know that you have the most resistance just before you succeed. Don't give up. Pull up all your faith, power, passion, energy into achieving what you now have been working towards. Going against a current, while exhausting at times, also brings the experience of the journey that forced you to give your all and all your pride to higher accomplishments. Make sure that you're able to detach yourself from the emotions that have been weighing you down so you can swim freely. So we're still in that letting go phase.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Like you just need to have faith.
Mm-hmm.
The crazy caucus is going to do the crazy caucus, but the cards of today were showing good things coming up at the end of the year.
Yep.
Get through October here and the craziness, and
We start to see the trial in Georgia. We start to see something happening.
yeah.
And you'll see how fast it all seems to come after that. I've been hearing a lot of quick messages. I heard one this morning that was about the 4 phases of our growth. And all of them are times when you go through things that seem insurmountable. And then at the end, you're like, woo, that was great. Am I done yet? No, you're not. But, and I think if you understand you're not alone in struggling, you're not alone at not understanding, but you can accept the days when things are good. And that's what you have to do. And if the news becomes oppressive, like for some reason, one day I got stuck in YouTube watching kitten rescue stories. Well, then every day I get tons of kitten rescue stories in my feed. And I finally had to say, I don't want to see any more of this because it's so depressing. I mean, it's lovely when they're rescued, but they always start off with 5 minutes of some poor little cat struggling down a street, 90% starved. And I just realized I liked seeing them get better, but having that image show up every day in my life was really not a good thing for me because I love cats and I have a big fat cat. So I kind of found the algorithm and said, please don't send me those. And so they don't show up as often. And I will tell you that. If you ever watch a day of anything, though, they're going to follow you for the rest of your life. So if you really want to watch a day of something, go over to Nancy Jean's Garden. There's over 400 videos over there. Start at one and just let them
Yeah, it's like my Nancy. When she starts watching like a Dr. Pimple Popper thing on TikTok, whatever.
Oh, gross. Oh.
It's just constant. She keeps constantly getting fed that type of stuff. I'm like, don't you get enough? Like, I can't watch that stuff.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
Let's see. October 2nd, I guess Tish James thing trial is supposed to get going.
Good.
October 3rd, 45 is supposed to sit for a 9-hour deposition in the Michael Cohen lawsuit.
Oh, that's nice.
Think he can handle a 9-hour deposition?
I don't think he can stand a 9-hour day, but that's okay. He seems to wake up every morning the next day.
We've seen how his depositions have gone in the past. It all became out as guilty.
And I'm sure since it's going to Michael Cohen, we'll never hear a word of what he says. I'm sure Michael won't make sure we all know.
Most likely. There's a lot going on coming up soon.
And I have my show at 1 on Tuesday. And I'm not sure what it's going to be. Probably open questions. So if you're a chatter who likes to write your questions.
Okay. Love and light, everyone. Thank you.
Okay. Take care, sweeties. Bye.
Bye-bye.